Okay, I guess we'll try again. There we go. So apparently I ran out of battery because yeah, well that's tends to happen and you can't just change the battery of course in these new modern bullshit mobiles. Oh, by the way, I actually got my package from the US, although the Ministry of Michael Rood has gone into Unitarian heresy. Many of them they have been promoting this. I've been banned from the channels, both the chat channels. I'm not sure if they actually have that chat channels anymore, but I ordered some of the books of Revelation stuff and all that. Although one of them is a festival thing, and now I know there are some issues in regards of Michael Rood's view, but he also has a huge amount of truth, So he will have some more Chronicle of Revelation, and with the brimstone hits the fan. Not sure in regards of if that's in regards to the Revelation. We have Newton. I knew Newton had some issues as well, but anyway, it's just if you dig into the if you I also have his thing over there, as you can see, um, his Revelation thing here. That's the thing over there. And that's pretty much, it's interesting how they use Roman numbers and all that. But again, you have to eat the meat and spit out the bones. And there are some issues like the mark of the beast. They talk about the Mohammedan thing is that's absolutely rubbish, of course. Here we have Zacharias Thermonuclear War. Not sure about that either. And apparently, there's a book with it. But anyway, I finally got it with it's very interesting how the postcraft just sent it back. Um, they had I got one of the packages, which was this thing, and then I and then they sent the package back. Anyway, just another bullshit thing in regards of all the nonsense. And when I say bullshit, I mean in regards of like the bowl turd, like the paper bowl and all that. I don't know if English, in regards of what the total origin is in regards of bullshit or bowl turd. I sometimes use bowl turd as well. But in regards to how I use it is in regards to the paper bowl. Maybe I could use the Latin word in regards to the bowl. In Danish, it's a little easier to actually, to further point out. I call it, it's bulle lord, because it's the paper bowl in Danish is called a bulle, and I think in Latin, I think it's called a bulla. So I guess you could call it a bulla shit, but then you mix Latin into it, and we don't really want to do that, although it would be specifically more in regards of the bula shit, the bula turd for burning and all the canonical laws and all that of the papist and all that. Anyway, I just wrote a little message here as well in regards of the flat earth, and actually the earth, it's really not the word. I'm still looking for the word in regards of the biblical thing. Um, yeah, I need to further look into that. But anyway, we use what we have, and that's pretty much how we go about it. But this was what I wrote, like Flattard, and I might be a little, you might say, well, it's name calling or whatever, but it's just to point out my own view in some sense, so people don't get to oh he must be one of these flat earthers or whatever. I'm not a flat earther for sure because it's a bullshit. It's bulla shit. I think it's called a bulla, right? Let's say, like search bulla in Latin, right? But again, I don't really like to use Latin. No, actually, it says a bulla is a chief in Danish. No, that's can't be this here. The bulla, what is it called? Maybe it's something else in regards to the state Pope statement. Isn't it called a bulla? Papal bull, yeah. It is named after the leaden seal, a bulla, a bulla. But that must be Latin, right? In regards to the bulla. So here we have was the name of Register of Bull, Registrum Bullarum. I wonder in regards to the bulla room, but anyway. A papal bull is a type of public decree, letters, patent, or charters issued by the Pope of the Roman Catholic Satanic Maniac institution. It is named after the Latin seal, a bulla, traditionally appended to authenticate it. No, I don't know in regards to the bulla if it's Latin or maybe I could actually just in regards of English to Latin, English to Latin. Let's see here, and we'll just fix bull, right? See, that fixed it wrong thing. Paper bowl? No, that's like wow. Can't even figure out how to. It's like Tauros. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have some problems on that, but yeah, I can't remember. It's hard to remember everything. I just, in regards of, you refresh your memory about something in regards of how many name or how many times the name of God actually is in the Bible. I think it's around 6,700 times in the Tanakh and around 300 times in the New Testament if you look into manuscripts and all that. But anyway, so around 7,000 times that they purposely took out the name of God. Now, not when they translated, not when they translated from the Greek manuscript in regards to the New Testament, because that's already out. Actually, there's one place where they actually didn't really totally, I guess, because you have the name Elias, which is actually Eliyahu, and Eliyahu means he's calling on the God of Jehovah, which is actually interesting. I really didn't get that in regards of, they're saying he's calling on Eliyah or Eliyahu, right? It means the same thing. But when you read the Danish version or something like that, it's just Elias, right? And it's like, what is Elias, right? But it's Eliyahu or Eliyah. He's calling on Eliyah. And he's not calling on the prophet Eliyah or Eliyahu. He's calling on, because Eliyah is just a short form of Hebrew in regards of calling. He's calling, he's calling Jehovah, the God of Jehovah. Anyway, if you look at Eliyah, what does Eliyah means, right? Eliyah. So Jesus is calling it, to see, Jehovah is my God. It's in regards of Eliyah. Eliyah. So anyway, that was at least just something that was interesting in regards to, like, he's calling Elias, like, is it Elias? Yeah, you don't really get that, right? It doesn't really compute, right? He's calling God. He's called. Or no. Let's see if Elias is going to help him, right? I can't remember all the, go read the place in the New Testament and all that. My brain is kind of has too many informations, and it's hard to keep clear in regards to all the bullshit that is going around these days, and that is a lot of bullshit. So in regards of no, let's just go back in regards. I actually wrote a little thing here. Flattards, right? Eric Phelps, Johnny Cirucci. I'm not sure I'm spelling that correct or saying that right. Johnny Cirucci, Alan Lampy, and this William M. Booth, who now have censored, banned me from, banned me and others who pushed hard on this total nonsense. They all have spoken or speaks truth on the Roman Catholics and the Jesuits, and then they mislead into subjects of bullshit, like the flat earth insanity. So you can waste lots of valuable time on this utter rubbish. A way to discredit the truth they say about the Jesuits and overall, also, a way to discredit the truth they say about the Jesuits and overall make a joke out of Christianity. Here we have further. They catch you with truth and mislead you into errors. If the devil can keep the Jesuits hidden, he at the very least can try to capture you and then mislead you. If he can't make you believe the Jesuits are Jews, as it goes with the other nonsense, he will try to deflect and mislead you in other ways. There are also the other type of people who will claim the Roman Catholics and seem to be spot on, yet have an agenda to mislead you to believe it is the Jews. So the front is to again catch you with the truth and then mislead you into believing it is really the Jews. If that does not work, then the devil have others to try to catch you, like these four guys above, who all confirm it is not the Jews, but the Jesuits, which it is indeed is. Which it indeed is, yeah. Anyone promoting the planet is really a pancake and flat is suspicious for sure. No one in their right mind could promote this in honesty. So much waste of time on this subject, a smart move of the devil for sure, but disgusting to see people promote it. So that's something I just wrote on Gap, which is also filled with Roman Catholics and Nazis and all that, because Nazism is Roman Catholicism, so that pretty much goes hand in hand. If you want to know what the Roman Catholics are promoting, just go on Gab and you can see all the Jew hatred that is on the platform. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of nonsense around. So if we go to the Jesuit Vatican Shadow Empire 301 Inquisition by William, which, yeah, it's interesting because I talked to someone on Rumble on this, and he said that William might actually just, delete all my messages because he had done it to, apparently another guy who had followed William because he's been around for 4 years at least. His oldest videos are around 4 years old, and he began to promote pretty early on this Flattard nonsense, and I think I already saw it like in video 9 or something, or maybe earlier, where he talks to people in regards to this Flattard on YouTube, and he begins also to talk about this nonsense of flat Earth, thing, and it's other bullshit, and it's very easy to discount. You have a northern point and you have a southern point, and the stars are going around. At the northern point, they're going counterclockwise, and if you look south, they go what is called clockwise. Why is that? It's because it's a ball. The same thing when you see the moon, the new moon. When you stand up here, and it's a little hard when I don't. Do I have a ball or something like that? I would have been into it. Apparently, I don't have a ball. I guess, no, that's not going to be, that's more like a square. Well, you have a ball, and you stand up here, right? And you stand down here, and both of them are looking at the moon. It looks different because one person is like this direction, and the other person is like this direction. The feet is right there, and the feet is right there, right? So you have the feet at the, but they're both, that's just really bad in regards of, okay, so this way, right? So the feet, the one person is standing like this on the ball, and the other is standing down here on the ball, and they're looking at the same thing in regards to the moon, and because they look, one of them are looking like that, the moon is differently, it's still the same moon, but it's on another, you see the sliver is just over here instead of over here. And when you see these people that take the new moon screenshot and all that around the world, it was very interesting to see how the moon was in different positions. It's the same moon that we're looking at, but it's different. It's different. But it's the same moon. Again, because it's round. It's a ball. But anyway, so you can, and you don't need to go further into the heavens in regards of out there in space where there's no oxygen and all. You don't need to go above where the birds are flying to see this. And the birds are flying in the beginning of the heavens. So, and heavens is the same as the firmament. So the firmament is not another entity from the heavens, which is another bullshit thing that they are promoting. You take the Bible, you go to First Genesis 8, and Elohim, well, that's usually translated as God, singular, but in the Hebrew it's plural. And the gods called the expanse. The expanse here is the word rakia, if you look in regards of, I should maybe have taken a King James version. But anyway, and the Elohim, the gods called the expanse Shamaim. Heavens, plural. Yeah. So what is the rakia? Well, the rakia is the heavens, the shamayim. Rakia, that's a Hebrew word for it. It's the same thing that God does throughout the creation history in regards of He has the light. He calls the light day. We have darkness. He calls darkness night. We have the dry coming forth. I think is that day 4 or something like that? Maybe day 3. Maybe that's all. See here, day. Yeah, that's that's day 3. So he let the dry come forth. So we have the opposition to the wet, which is the waters. So you have the dry coming forth. That's the land that he calls it land. So you have the same, he gives names for these different things, and it's the same thing with the rakia, which they proclaim is solid. You stop, and they claim it's like it's a different thing. Give me a break. So you just go to the first chapter in regards of number 8, right? Number 8, line 8. And there you can see God names it heavens. And then another place, I can't remember where, but then the birds are flying in the faces. The faces, in another word, of the beginning of the heavens. It means there's a lot more heavens out there. Is that true? Is there a lot more space out there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is. Yeah. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit, Oh, man, there's so much of it. So let's see here. And Elohim said, "Let the waters teem with shoals of living creatures." I'm actually not sure why they didn't translate that into in English. Shoals. That at least sounds like a Hebrew word. I'll need to look that up. And let birds fly up. I'm not actually sure why I haven't actually done that already in regards of. Maybe it didn't really annoy me at that point. Shoals. Let's see if we actually have maybe. No, it's not here, so I would need to look it up another place. Anyway, shoals of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth on the, and they say face, but as far as I recall, it's plural, faces of the expanse of the heavens. So here again, you have the two words in regards to the expanse. That's the rakia of the heavens, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But they're flying in the faces. They're flying in the beginning. In the beginning of the heavens. Like when the spirit of the gods are hovering or moving upon the waters, on the faces of the waters, on the beginning of the waters. That means there's more underneath in regards of water. It's just the faces. It's just the front of the thing. It's the beginning of the thing. Like Hebrew tends to use, the body and body parts, lips and tongue and mouth and so forth, right? Neck and head and so forth. Anyway, and that's of course up to the translator then how to translate it. Is he going to be literal, taking from the Hebrew, or is he going to try to make, in regards to understanding for the people of another tongue, or so you have, when you translate something, you have to take things into consideration. Are you going this? What are you going to, you always lose some information when you translate from another language or from another tongue or from another lip or from another mouth, what if, yeah, you will always lose some information, and that's just, as a translator, you if you translate, you can see you hit into issues where it's like you can translate it into multiple things, but you want the best word, of course. But of course, it also depends in regards to the translator what he actually value in regards of weight. So yeah. Anyway, so that's of course another bullshit insanity of these deceivers, And it's so disgusting how much time you can use, and I really, really don't want to use time. I've already used way too much time on the subject many years ago. But it's hogwash, it's bullshit, it's gibberish, it's nonsense, it's absolutely ridiculous, okay? It's just absolutely, yeah, it's always nice to know some synonyms and synonyms in regards to that word, because there's a lot of it in the world. It's bull turd, okay? And these people who are promoting these things, it's not like you don't throw out, the baby with the water, So they do have a lot of truth. So you just have to discern what is the lies, which, of course, can be somewhat hard sometimes. They do speak a lot of the Roman Catholics, the Jesuits. They also proclaim, like these four guys. As far as I know, all the four guys, I'm a little, and I think all the four guys are actually verifying it's not the Jews. So that's good. That's true. It is not the Jews. Sure, there are some Jews that work for the Roman Empire, like there's Danish people and Swedish people and Norwegian people or German people or Canadian people and people all over the world working for this Roman Empire and this absolutely disgusting beast system. But and then you have some Jews as well doing that. It's not a biggie surprise. And these Jews are put in the front to be blamed for everything. And that's just how it is. But anyway, so both, Eric Phelps, Johnny Cirucci, I have no idea how it's Cirucci, Alan Lampy, and William M. Booth, all four of them are correct when they say it's not the Jews. And they talk about the Jesuits, they talk about Roman Catholicism, they talk about the Antichrist, as far as in regards of pinpointing the papacy. I think they pretty much. I'm a little wavery in regards to my memory here, but I think they do pinpoint the papacy as Antichrist, although the papacy is Antichrist in any case. So, but I think they do pinpoint that as far as I recall. But anyway, it's my memory is not the best. With all the information you find out, there's only room to so and so much up in the brain, and when that is filled, it begins to when you have a book and you fix in another book and the other book falls out pretty much of the shelf. It's very annoying. I've absolutely reached my maximum, and that's why I like to sum up things, because in regards to all these things, you sum up things to understand what is really that's I think is that's then you get into all this rubbish and bullshit and nonsense, and you think these people are on your side, right? Like Eric Phelps, Johnny Carusi, Alan Lambie, and William M. Booth. I found this William. I've never seen this William guy before. And it goes really in the beginning very nice. It's like, oh great, oh this guy, and I look at his webpage, right, and he has a lot of the same thing as I have on my webpage. It's like, wow, we have a brother here, right? Who is on the same page and all that, and then he just begins to promote Flattard. He's a Flattard. Ah, it smells like a Roman agent. Then he goes on to promote that if you take in the snake oil, that you can't be saved. say it, what diabolical doctrine to promote? And that must be some of the things that he actually deleted me in regards of, and then we haven't really gone to that. William M. Booth censored me and banned me from writing on his channel. I don't know why. Besides that, he's a stinking Roman agent. That's the only conclusion that, why would he do that? You know, if he would really was honest and all that, why would he delete all my messages, which is full of truth, and why would he ban me from, yeah, I can only come to one conclusion, that I was spot on in regards of him being, he's a Roman agent. That's the only thing I can, at least, either an ignorant or, but it's interesting. How can someone be so ignorant that, it's so easy to confirm that the earth is not flat by observation. Now, we have a program here, right? Now, I understand this is a program, this is not real life, but that's the idea is that you go in and look and you get the theory, right? That's science. When I took science on when I was on the university, and you really have to be careful with these disgusting places, totally brain defiling places. But anyway, I took physics on B, that's the A, and I took it on B, and you had like 8 reports, I think you had to make to get into where you could come up and all that, and so you make these 8 reports, and you start out with the theory. You start hearing the theory, then you go down in the laboratory and do some real observations. Now, after you have done these, observations and, trials and this and that, you go and calculate and see if the theory was correct, or at least if it matches up, right? Because if it doesn't match up, if you can't really do it yourself and get to the same results, then something's wrong, right? It has to agree, right? At the very least. So this is like the theory of things, right? So we start out with a theory, and we're standing somewhere on the Earth, in the middle of, I guess, close to the equator. But anyway, let's look at the location. So we're standing down here, right? And you could stand pretty much. You could also stand on the other side over here, or Australia. It depends. Now, at the moment, I'm trying to actually see if you could actually see both places nearly at the same time, if you're actually pretty much close to the middle. But you could actually, if you live up here on the northern side, you can observe the northern point of the stars going around one specific point, and the northern star, you can look for the northern star, and you can follow if you want to verify and all that, and use your time on that. You can also buy a telescope and look at the moon and all that, and also the stars and all that, and get more things in regards to that. And you can see that, like, I just got I got some pictures, right, of the moon from NASA, right? Oh my, NASA. Yeah, I got it from NASA. Yeah. But anyway, I've looked in a telescope. I've looked at the moon from a telescope, and you can see the details. It's pretty amazing, actually. So it's something you can verify that these pictures are not fakes, because you can look at it yourself. You can fix a telescope and you can look at the moon for yourself and get those details. If you don't trust again, it's something you don't need to go into outer space or in the outer heavens. You just need to, you can do your own research on the Earth. Anyway, so we're standing around here, as you can see, and the idea was to see if I could actually get both places. But we just, let's go and roll a little faster so we can see. So if we're looking south, right? Let's actually see if we can. There we go. And we can see if we can get out of this. It's a long time since I used this application. It was one of those applications I bought when I looked into things many years ago. And in regards to the satellites, you could follow the satellites. You could see them on the sky. There were some specific satellites. I can't remember what they were called, but you could follow them. I don't think these satellites are up anymore. At least they were there was fewer and fewer of them and all that. But anyway, here we go with the south, and you can see you can see the stars going around the south object, right? There we go to look to the north, right? And you can see Polaris. That's the North Star. So when you look upward, can you see the stars are going anti-clockwise? What is it called? Counterclockwise. So when you look up in regards of the north point, the stars will go counterclockwise. If you look south, they will go clockwise because the earth is a ball and you're standing and looking into, from the perspective and all that. You can also see if you look at this, if you just, because you're pretty much standing on the middle of things, and thereby you can see the heavens passing by, Yeah. And then anyway, we can go to the south, and here we go. You see it? The clockwise. So you see the southern point, it goes clockwise. Now, if you talk to some of these Flattards, and people will say, well, you shouldn't use whatever and all that. But, it's just to point out that I don't believe in this nonsense, and further, that it's absolutely ridiculous, But some of these Flattards will say that it's just the same point. The southern point is the same as the northern point. Now, besides actually that these 2 points are going in the opposite direction when we look at them, another thing is that the stars are not the same. But some of these Flattards understand that their module only have one place. So to defend their bullshit, they have to say that is the same spot. How retarded are you going to be? It's just bullshit. And this is something you can observe from the Earth. You don't need to go into space to look at it. You can just do it on Earth. If you are on the northern hemisphere, you can just look at the North Star and follow along, and you can be very acquainted with it, right? You can, buy a telescope and you can look at it and you can follow it around, and I guess it also depends. But if you have a window in that direction, you can just put up a telescope and follow it along and sit there and enjoy yourself with some music or something like that, and just look at it, right? And follow it along and see if the stars are actually doing what the theory is saying, right? So anyway, so we have the south. If we go a little more south, we should be able, because I'm thinking, if you could actually find a specific point where you're pretty much in the middle of both, you could just go there, and then you can nearly see both of the places. Although it's very close here as well, and we need to go a little more south. I don't know if I can hit little more south. No, that was a little more. There we go. We got a little more south, right, on the Earth. So here we have, well, we still can't see the southern point, but let's go and look to the north, right? When we have the north, is if it wasn't because of these trees and all that, then sadly don't think I can take the trees off, but you would still be able to see the Polaris if you zoomed in and you didn't have those trees, I guess I could do like this, but then we can't see. But yeah, you can see the Polaris. That's the big shining thing here. And you can see that it's not totally in the middle, but it's very close. Now, the Southern Star is less powerful, and it goes a little further out and all that. So you can clearly see that these two places are two different places. And yet the Flattards will try to, it's the same place, it's the same. Not only does it not move in the same direction, which again is because it's a planet. So if you actually look at it from the planet perspective, and then you can figure out why that happens. The same thing with the moon. Why do you see the sliver on on one side, on one place, and then it flips over to the other side on the because you're seeing it from two different angles. You're standing on top of the ball, and you're standing on the bottom of the ball, and then you're looking at the same moon, and then it comes out differently in regards. So that's, it's just it's not that complicated, but a lot of people makes it complicated. So if we just go a little more south, it's like, again, but if you familiarize yourself with the north, right, then you can take a trip to the south somewhere, and then you can take your telescope with you or whatnot, and then you can do the same thing. Again, you don't need to go into space and buy a huge, expensive, trip to space and all that. Of course, I guess you don't believe that you can go to space or into the heavens, the outer heavens. But anyway, I guess you would figure out something. These people will just, come up with some new nonsense and all that. Anyway, location. Let's see here if we can go a little longer down. Maybe you want to go to Australia or something like that. Maybe the top of Australia. Well, we're beginning to see we're beginning to be able to see the South Point here. It's getting very close, and we wouldn't have. I don't know why they put these things in, but it would be nice if you just had. But here we have the South Point, and as you can see, again, it goes in the other direction. Now, where is the South Star? Yeah, there we go. Polaris Australis. As far as I recall, it's the South Star. So that's the Polaris Australis, and as you can see, it's a little further out of as far as I recall, and the stars goes in another direction because it's not the same point. So if you take an image of the southern point and the northern point, it's not the same. Now, these two phenomena are very, people are taking videos of them. It's a very popular thing and all that. So that's a good amount of video in regards to this. So, give me a break with the bullshit, okay? And again, you can see how when you look at west here, you see how the stars are moving and all that. And you look upward, and then go. Well, it's a little hard here, but yeah, anyway. So we have the south here, and you can see how they go around in this direction with the clock, And if you go over here, now of course, it goes a little faster than usual, right? So if you go out, you will need to wait a little. Here we have the Polaris. You can just see a little. So if you find a place where you where you can see both places at the same time nearly, you could keep watch on that, or you can just take further below and look into that. But yeah, there we go. There you go. That's the theory of it all. And if you don't believe that the Earth is round, you can just go out and travel, buy a telescope, and go out and travel, look on those two places, and confirm if it's correct. It's not that hard to do. That's science. Just do that. Instead of bullshit around and say, "Oh, the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. The Earth is." Oh, give me a break with the bullshit. So, but anyway, so this Flattard, William has deleted he's deleted 21 messages at least, as far as I can see. Now, I thought he might have, maybe there was a button on this platform where you could nuke all my messages. And that's not the case, because I do have some of the messages still. But anyway, here we go in regards to the video. This is the video, the Jesuit Vatican Shadow Empire 301 Inquisition. So let's go down a little here, and we can also try to make a test message, right? And we can just, maybe I should actually zoom in, but let's try to push. And there we go. And it says, well, it's a little hard to see, but anyway, let's try again. If I try to make, sorry, you have been muted by the creator. Let's try again. You have been muted by the creator. Isn't that interesting? Why would he mute me? If he's standing for the truth and all that, I don't know why he would be muting me. Now, the last message I made in there, because this is over a couple of days, I think the oldest message is like, 6 days ago, it seems. 6 days ago, something of that nature, seems to be the. And someone was talking about the King James Version, and if I just read the King James Version, I would believe in this bullshit. I don't know if that message is actually. The problem is, I'm going from mind here because the messages are not there anymore and I can't see them. So I was responding to which I don't know if it was William, but it was another account at least, and I can't remember the account name overall. Not totally certain in regards to who it was. I had another guy that talked about that William would probably delete my messages because, again, he had been a follower himself of William and found out that William was pushing these issues. That I was pointing out some of the things that I was pointing out as issues he had found out himself that there was a kind of a problem in regards to William in regards to these things. So he told me that William would probably, and I need some water apparently. Yeah. Oh wait, I have sorted apparently. No, it's empty. I need some water. I'm pretty dry. Ugh. Anyway, so he said that William would probably ban me, delete my. Oh no, he said actually delete my messages, right? For apparently disagreeing with him or, writing things off. So, and that's what exactly happened, which I just kind of surprised somewhat of. It's not like I haven't been banned before. I pretty much get banned all the time and censored and all that. That's nothing new. Pretty much these last couple of years, if it's not Facebook or YouTube, then people themselves tend to. And then the question is, why? It's like it seems to like on YouTube that there's a lot of promotion of what they want promoted, like Roman Catholicism, and yet people who stands against it and speaks the truth. So it's like it seems like they're like some sense keeping those they want on the platform to promote and all that, so people end up following a lot of these people that they might actually control. This freedom of speech on the internet is just not there for sure. Platforms are doing so many disgusting, filthy things to. So it's not really free for all in regards of. Yeah. Anyway, that's just how it is. So but I was just in regards to some of the things that this guy William guy was promoting, like that you can't get saved if you take the vax. Now, I wouldn't suggest anyone to take it at all. I'm an anti snake oil salesman, and I'm really you have to be careful apparently, because if you say something, and that's also disgusting, right? You can't even speak your mind on YouTube, right? Because then they ban you for false this and that and all that. But anyway, as you can see, I'm clearly. That's the camera is not so good. Let's try again. So you've been muted by the creator, right? So William has muted me from speaking. The last message was in regards of King James Version and all that. But anyway, let's go on to see the evidence here, right? And it's a clicking game on Rumble. They have this bullshit clicking game, and you can usually the negative likes will make you so you need to click to see the message. But here we have two, right? I can see 6 days ago deleted, 6 days ago deleted. And the interesting thing is I got a lot of dislikes as well. So there's a lot of Roman papers, it seems, that's out there that didn't like the truth that I was pointing out. Here we have minus 11 in regards of 11 dislikes. That's me again. Deleted. Here we have 12 dislikes. I see we have something in regards. No, that's not me. Well, we can a clicking game as usual. Here we go. So here we have one more message 6 days ago. 13 dislikes. Have another. Well, they only have 0 dislikes. These two. We have one more. 14 dislikes. Deleted. 17 dislikes. Deleted. 33 dislikes. Deleted. So I had pushed out some truth. For sure, and a lot of people didn't like it. Minus 20 dislikes. Deleted. Um, you have this show low score comment, which is just a bullshit thing. Apparently, I wrote to that as well, but that's deleted as well. It has minus 31, so 31 dislikes. I don't know what I wrote, but here it is, deleted. 5 days ago, minus 25 dislikes. Another one, minus 26. Well, dislikes, or 26 dislikes, I guess. 20 dislikes, and all of them are deleted. This is 5 days ago, 6 days ago, 6 days ago. And here we go. Here we have William Boot, right? That's the guy that has the channel. And he wrote something. And I wrote 2 messages, which are now deleted 1 week ago. So that's 7 days ago. 31 dislikes and another message, 22 dislikes. Interesting, right? The camera is really not. I don't know if I can run the other camera. Where is its issues? What happened now? Okay, I just opened another window. That's typical. I didn't really push anything, but I guess it just thought it wanted to open up another window. Apparently, it has its own life. So I have deleted. 1 week ago, 6 days ago, and I did get a lot of dislikes. So I was like, there's a lot of truth in it, in regards to the GS search and all that. Maybe I can pro trade. No video, maybe.